Hey guys, quick update here. We had the inspection a couple days ago, and unfortunately, the inspector saw the things that were wrong with the property, not too bad. He told the buyer and the realtor that this house has a 90% chance of having Chinese drywall in it. So apparently, I bought a house with Chinese drywall. Buyer got super spooked and got out of the contract. They were allowed to do it. It was in the terms of the contract. So that's where I'm at now. So right now I'm gonna have to see if I'm living in a toxic environment. It's not good. The good part is, even if this house had Chinese drywall in it, I could still sell it for 120, 125 with a full disclosure to a regular cash buyer, and I'd still make 10, 15 grand. So I'm not too worried about it. From what I've been told about Chinese drywall and the expertise from everyone, if I'm in a Chinese drywall house, my eyes would be burning red, I would be choking, I would be short of breath. So I really don't believe it, but if it's got Chinese drywall, I think I really messed up here. So we're gonna have to look and check out the signs. So guys, what are the signs of Chinese drywall? The number one sign of Chinese drywall, I'm gonna put this down here and talk to you about it. So the number one sign of Chinese drywall that you can tell, especially in the state of Florida, I'm pretty sure Texas had some too, but it was mostly cases in the state of Florida, definitely South Florida area, Miami-Dade, Broward counties. So the number one indicator would be built or there's renovations of the drywall within 2001, let's say 2009, 2010. 2001, 2010, keep the radar on there. And the huge indicator if it meets about three things, and one to really make sure is Chinese drywall. So Chinese drywall can be in a little patch as a repair, or it can be in the entire house, and that stuff's toxic and it creates sulfur, excess sulfur deposits, terrible for you. Like I've said, inspectors have told me that if there's Chinese drywall, it could be burning your eyes, or you could not know about it at all. I don't know who's right. There's only two ways to find out. So if every single copper piping in the property is corroded and there's oxidation everywhere, you stick your finger on the copper and it's just black, that means the sulfur deposits possibly eating away at the copper. And if it's starting to pit, it's not a good sign. So I'm gonna show you right here. So during the inspection, all the copper wires were good except for, I'll show you here, the panel box right here. And I argued with the inspector. I said, hey, there's no Chinese drywall here. My eyes would be burning. He said, no, it wouldn't be burning. This is definitely Chinese drywall. He's told the buyers not to buy the property. It's dangerous. So I did some investigation myself on why this panel would be so dangerous. You gotta look behind it. It has some oxidation on it. So did my investigation and found out that this property is on, if you can see that there, is on well water. And well water has what? It's got sulfur. And that pump is leaking a little, which has put sulfur in the air here. Not too much, but over time, it's just been slowly corroding at this. No pitting, so that's a good sign. And one other sign you could see is, let's say we cut out the Chinese drywall or the regular drywall, and we look and we cut it, and if in the back of the drywall it does say made in China, you're screwed. So what we decided to do is, the only way to really find out is just to cut a piece out and see what the drywall is made of. And it was really scary. So what we did here, let me see if we can flip this around. So we cut a piece of drywall here. So we are going to do our little analysis here, and we're going to see what we find. All right, guys, if you can look here, let me see if I can flip this. Sorry if you're a little dizzy. But if you look here, this is what the markings say. First, there's no made in China anywhere in here, which is very good. We can see here that 05, built in 2005, which could indicate the Chinese drywall. Meets ASTM C36. No made in China on here. That's very good. Usually it's right here, or the whole thing says made in China. We're gonna look over here. We look good there. We're looking very good here. And you know, the real way to really find out is to look over here. So we can see here that this is Pro Rock from Certainteed American Gypsum Board. I called Certainteed. They don't sell Pro Rock anymore. They actually sold that off, I believe, or they don't create that type of gypsum board anymore. But it is 100% made in the US of A. So no Chinese drywall. All right, guys, no Chinese drywall this time. Really screwed over that deal I had with them, but good part is we had like 3 backup offers at $164.9. So I took it, and we have the inspection tomorrow, and I'll tell you how that goes. Cross my fingers. I'm keeping that thing open because if an inspector comes in and screams at me again that this is Chinese drywall, get out of here, with their little tinfoil hats on, I'm going to show them that, and to show that it is perfectly fine on the attic. That's another way you can look at it without cutting the drywall. I wanted to make sure because sometimes the attic drywall is different. So the top of the drywall is a Lafarge. Now there's a huge difference between Lafarge and Lafarge counterfeit board. Lafarge is a company that creates drywall, especially in that 2001-2010 period. I was in elementary school and I was a baby still then. But Lafarge back then, they created drywall. And in China, they actually made a counterfeit board, which is fake. And it said Lafarge on it, but it said made in China. And that is the Chinese drywall. And the 2 Chinese drywalls, actually the Chinese drywall is either reactive, which is bad, or non-reactive, which is made in the US and is actually very safe. So we looked up, it's Lafarge, made in Palatka, Florida in 2006. So this house is Chinese drywall free, and we're ready to go. One last thing I'm going to show you later. The markings, the number 1 marking for Chinese drywall in a home, if you have it open, it's going to say Naf Tijan China on it. And I'm going to include a couple pictures right now of that and some other markings to show you what is Chinese drywall. If you clearly see there, it's Certainteed Pro Rock. They gave me 100% approval. I called the builder that built in 2005. Still in business in the area. I actually went by the office and they assured me that I don't have any complaints out of 10,000 homes they built. So Chinese drywall free. Got the inspection tomorrow. We're gonna sell it and still make that 60 grand. See you on the flip side. Flip with Rick.